Hello guys and gals, and welcome to another episode of Ginger Toy Mentor. Today we're going to be taking a look at the I don't want to say reproduction, I know I say this every single time, but this is a Walmart kind of exclusive toy that was released around the same time as the reproductions, but it's not a reproduction. It's actually kind of like a new toy in like the old packaging. I mean, the old packaging is amazing. I love the old packaging. I don't know why they don't just use the old packaging all the time. To be honest, the old packaging is so much cooler than the new packaging. But this is the Headmaster Weirdwolf. And of course, the Headmasters came in toward the end of the series. So some of you, if you never actually watched the Headmaster episodes, you might not even know who the hell this is. But let's open them up and let's take a look at them and see what the hell's going on. And, you know, it's really cool on the back because you can really get a good look at the back of the box. And let me pull them out real quick, and we're going to take a look at the back of the box real quick. So on the back of the box, they have all the Headmasters. I mean, very clearly, like this is Skull Cruncher. Then that's Chrome Dome, and we've got Highbrow. I believe that's Highbrow. I believe that's Skids. No, it's not Skids. I think I actually had him as a kid. There's Mind Wipe, and they have them transforming as well, which is pretty cool. And of course, this is Fortress Maximus on the back there. And it looks like we have a couple clips holding them in. They're little plastic things. We got 3 of them. So let's go ahead and pop those up. We got our little wolf tied down. How dare they? Now, of course, Weirdwolf is a Decepticon, and he's one of the kind of like the primals. So he is a an animal. And during the episode where all the primals were called, he would have been called, but I don't think he existed at the time when that episode occurred. So didn't really happen. It looks like this is a compartment here. Almost looks like a like a bicycle hatch. And we have a couple different things here. We've got what is obviously his Headmaster gun, which is very well lodged in the plastic. Holy Jesus, that's lodged in there well. Good luck getting it out without damaging the plastic, guys. That is in there just insanely well. I'm not even sure if I can get it. Definitely dinged up the plastic a little bit getting that out of there. For those of you collectors who like to hang on to the plastic, well, I hate to tell you. It might be a little dinged up if you plan on opening them up. Oh, this time we have a little tiny piece of plastic holding down our Headmaster, which is not something that I've seen in any of the previous ones. I'm not really sure why he specifically had one holding down his Headmaster. There's nothing holding down the sword, which is pretty cool. Let's go ahead and put this to the side. So, I gotta confess, I don't think I've ever had Weirdwolf or ever seen Weirdwolf before today. I think when the original Headmasters came out, I never really had them. This gun, he fits in there very snugly. Like, holy crap, he fits in there so well. It's a very deep, like, canyon of a hole that he fits into there. And I'm assuming he could also bring his arms up so that it looks like he's working the control panel, which is pretty cool. I always love these little guys because it was just like, it was so cool having, you know, like a robot that fit inside another robot. I don't know why it was so freaking cool, but it always was so freaking cool. You guys know it was cool, I'm not gonna lie. So it looks like you could fit him on top of Weirdwolf like this. Might be a little bit hard to shoot while a wolf is literally like in full sprint. But I'm assuming you could pull it off somehow. And I have my own wolf here next to me, Mr. Kubus Abubus. Mr. Kubus, what do you think about this wolf? He is not impressed. He said, I am not impressed. Now, I'm assuming the sword is his tail, because he doesn't have one. And there we go. So he has a nice little tail. That's pretty cool. Let me take a look at the manual real quick, just to make sure that I've got him posed correctly in his robot mode. So he could be sitting in one of two ways. Either, obviously, the Headmaster could be in his gun, or we can have the gun completely separate from him. You don't necessarily have to have the gun on here. And then on top of that, of course, we also have the cockpit, which our Headmaster could be inside the cockpit instead. And, I mean, for the most part, it seems like a fairly standard transformation into a really cool-looking wolf. I mean, he's got multiple articulations on his feet. His feet will move. He has an ankle joint. He has a knee joint, and so forth and so on. So, I mean, it definitely makes for a very interesting-looking transformer, either from the front or from the side. Does his mouth open? Yes, it does, revealing a nice shiny row of very sharp silver teeth, which are not actually really sharp, but I wonder if it will change the impression on my dog. He licked him. I don't know. He said, look, sir, I don't want to fight you. I know you look ferocious and you got red eyes and your teeth are sticking out. You got some real mean looking teeth. He said, but I'm not looking to fight you, sir. I said, I'm not looking to fight. Now, I don't think I have his front legs quite right, so let's take a look at the box. It looks like his front legs, instead of bowing outward like that, are supposed to be kind of more inward, like this. It gives a better impression that he's ready to pounce on you, so to speak, like kind of like backwards, like that. Yeah, definitely much better. As for his back legs, it looks like his back legs are kind of pushed forward a little bit more. And a little bit of adjustment here and there. And he's no longer wobbly. What do you know? Pretty cool. Alright, let's go to a fashion photo shot of our boy Weirdwolf here, and then we'll see if we can transform him into his robot form. Alright, so let's see if we can transform him into his robot mode. First we're going to try without the manual, and then if we need the help, we'll pull that out. Obviously, our boy in the gun needs to come out and transform into his head mode, which he has a very interesting white and red face. No black or purple or anything on it, which is kind of a little strange for a Decepticon. Obviously, his tail needs to come out. And I'm going to assume that his legs actually become legs somehow. I'm not really quite sure how his legs become legs. But his legs become legs. His arms become arms. Trying to see. Oh, it looks like there's a compartment, hidden compartment here for his fists. So, and that just fell directly off. Well, a little cheaply put together there. Alright, so that definitely is his fist. Looks like his fist just simply pops up. That's strange. It looks like there's a kind of like a locking mechanism for the fist, but then at the same time it... Oh, okay. Nice healthy click there. That's nice. Nice, a very nice, strong click into play. I guess that's not going to fall out once it's locked in. Come on. Lock in. Here we go. Alright, so his paws just kind of fold back, I assume. And his shoulders are he's got some meaty shoulders, I'm going to tell you what. That's some meaty boy shoulders. And then his head, I'm sure, folds backward. And of course we put his head into the slot. Unfortunately, unlike the originals, he doesn't have the panel showing his power levels, which is rather unfortunate. I rather liked that about the original Headmasters, the little panels that showed the power levels. I thought that was really cool. I do notice, though, that the head of the Headmaster is kind of flimsy, and if you're not careful with it, it could potentially break. I'm not really 100% sure on that. I definitely don't have his lower half transformed right. At least, I don't think I do. So his lower half is supposed to actually have feet. So it does look like there are actual feet inside of his paws. So that's rather interesting. And then I assume the entire contraption spins about on itself somehow. I'm not really quite sure how, though. Ah, okay. That's rather interesting. So these fold down and they become shin guards. That's pretty cool. And then I'm assuming we turn these around. Yeah, that's what it looks like. And then he has a sword for one hand. And a gun for the other. So in the box, on the box, he has a gun, like a small gun. He does not have that gun inside the box. I'm not really sure why that's displayed there. He did come with this big giant meaty boy, which apparently goes right here on his arm. But I had to check and make sure because he does not, however, have the gun that goes in his hand, which is displayed on the box. And of course, they got the sword turned the wrong way here. And I mean, he looks pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie. In his robot mode, he does look really cool. The way that they did his legs is pretty interesting, and he does stand pretty well. As far as like his weight balance goes. So I mean, all in all, he's a pretty cool little transformer. The compartment on his back is also really interesting. It's just a freaking ginormously huge compartment that's on the back of him, and I mean, it just opens up into like a massive storage compartment. You could probably fit like 2 Headmaster heads in there. Maybe even 3 if you were like really crafty about like how you put them in there. It's really quite interesting how he transforms, and I swear it looks like there's more that you can do with him. Like this chest piece. Oh wow, this chest piece opens up too. Interesting. So there's like multiple places you can put the Headmaster on this guy. You could put the Headmaster in the back. You can put the Headmaster in the gun. You can put the Headmaster in the front compartment. I wonder if that's in the manual. Does it actually say that you can put him in the front compartment? They don't really have anything about the Headmaster in the front compartment. They have about the Headmaster inside the back, and they also have a diagram of the Headmaster inside the gun. There also seems to be something in here specifically about doing a 180. For for the robot mode. Not really sure how the hell that works. Apparently you open this up and you... Oh, okay. And the whole thing slides open like this. And then what? I mean, it just seems to be on a pivot. Like the whole thing pivots in half. Like the whole transformer just like folds in half. I'm not really sure what the point of that is, other than to make it easier, perhaps, to transform him. Oh, it shortens his torso. Ah, okay. So the goal of this is to, when he's in the robot or the wolf mode, he has a longer torso because obviously he's a dog or a wolf. And so what you do is you fold this up here, and it folds inward, and it locks into place, and that gives him a much shorter torso than he had before. Shortens him up by quite a bit, actually, turning him into a much smaller transformer. I'm going to put his head back in here. I mean, he looks pretty cool. I'm not going to lie. Weirdwolf does look pretty cool. He doesn't seem to be cheap, although there is some interesting things going on here on the backside with the gun. So I always try and point out like stress marks on the plastic. So when I put the gun into his hole, there's a small stress plastic mark right here for pushing the gun in, and it's always a little distressing. Get it? Distressing to see a stress fracture occur on a brand new toy. Especially when the gun is going directly into the place where it is telling you to put the gun. So it's not like this is like me jamming it into a hole that it doesn't belong into. This is on the manual. It specifically says that that's where it goes. All right, so let's get a very cool fashion photo shot of him in his robot mode, and that'll be it. As always, I do appreciate you guys and gals watching my videos, and keep watching.